Journalism, General Smешко, I would like to ask you, on top of the usual corruption to satisfy individual interests, under ex-President Yanukovych, military and security bodies have been deeply penetrated. How do you assess today's risk of subversion, terrorism, treason?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like just to add several words about what was discussed before. My dear friends, this is not the conflict or not the war of Ukraine and Russia. This is aggression of Russia toward the free world, and this is the war between two civilizations. In Ukraine, two Maidans was really a shock for the current leaders in Kremlin, because democracy came to the border of Russian Federation, and the system of government in Russia not prepared for accept democracy. And President Putin decided that the European Union is very weak, America not prepared to be engaged in European affairs effectively, and that is why there was started aggression against Ukraine with violation. First of all, Budapest Protocol 1994. The world just right now forget that only one country in this world for history of all civilization gave up the third nuclear arsenal of the world. With the whole card, really we didn't think that we do need this weapon. And there is the signature of United States, UK, France, China and Russia about the guarantee of our territorial integrity. In 21st century, spreading of technology of nuclear weapons, you think will be stopped? There are other civilizations in this world. How you will argue with them to exchange possession of nuclear weapons for some promises? Secondly, Russia violated 1997 big treaty agreement with Ukraine about the recognition of our borders. I'm not speaking that we are right now have deal with the biggest country in Europe. I'm not speaking about Russia, because Russia this is Euro-Asian country. And we are speaking with the country of Ukraine, which paid 7 million in World War II and 3 million of their people in World War I. And by itself didn't start a single conflict in this world. This is the war between two civilizations. Here is on the picture here, Anatoly, I beg your pardon, you're looking where is the freedom and Euro-Atlantic environment. And this is my country, simply where the second world know that after two Maidan, that civil society in my country will not tolerate any authoritarian regime and any corruption. And we are coming to the corruption. You know, this is evil, really the second main danger in my country. We have one, this is on our border, and we have one inside. And this corruption also has the roots. This is transit energy resources to your air. This is pipeline on which leadership of Kremlin historically did its best also to corrupt some part of elite of my country. And Maidan proved, number one, number two, that civil society of Ukraine will not tolerate this. For us right now very difficult. We are supposed to do everything the same time in all the places to fight, to restructure armed forces, which really almost all was destroyed, I mean, in the strategic level of commanding. The same time we are supposed to start to fight the corruption. The same time we are supposed to restructure economy. But I can assure you that we know that without help, with help, we will do our job best, but we really need your understanding. This is war for the values. On second Maidan, I think the first time in European history, the people died in center of the Kiev with the European flags.
Thank you. General, I have one question for you, please, before I open it up to your questions. You are very experienced in cooperation with Western countries, with cooperation agreements, and you mentioned the Budapest Memorandum. Could it be, in your view, an option if Western countries agreed for Ukraine's sovereignty along the lines of US guarantees to Taiwan, as some Western observers suggest?
Of course, it would be a very good solution, and with the historical examples. My personal opinion is that from the very beginning of international negotiations, how to stop the fight in the eastern part of Ukraine, the only one format diplomatic for this, that was supposed to be the Budapest Agreement format. Plus, this format only might be spreaded. Germany and European Union might participate also, plus to this format. In this case, it would be honest, with respect for international law, and just for secure the international law order. Example which you mentioned, because honestly to say, Ukraine invested mostly in security of United States, because 176 heavy ICBMs with the 10 warheads on every one. I'm not speaking about the strategic bombers with the cruise missiles and all the other, were aimed against United States. And Minister Grisenko told, this is just only from the financial point of view. There was heavy burden which was taken from the shoulders of United States. That is a special commitment of United States, of course, would resolve a lot of problems. Minsk agreement. It's understandable that politics, this is the art of possibility. There was in days in which our government decided to do in this way, there was only one possibility for ceasefire and just to stop the killing the people over there. Because Russia really prescribed scenario more preferable for Russia, and West was not prepared to back Ukraine more than he backed in those days. Remember tragedy with MH17. After this tragedy, Ukraine once again arrived on TV, and West just waked up. Crimea, there was advices from the West, not provocate Russians. My opinion, I openly used to say this many times, if we would fight in Crimea, we wouldn't have Eastern region problems right now. And right now, I think it's understandable who doesn't fulfill the Minsk agreement. OSCE freely check every point on territory of Ukraine, but recognize and say this also openly, does not access to the all sites on occupied territories. Who is judge in this case? And that is my opinion, as my colleague said, we are supposed to look for another format. And I think, once again, my personal opinion, Budapest Protocol, if they're in this world international law or not. If not, that is, we are all approaching very, very difficult situation. Nuclears in Crimea, can you, when there is a territorial regime in the country, to control the steps of this country? This country might do everything. This is once again, two civilizations fighting. Democracy came to the border of Russia. Russia government fears this. We all supposed to think about it for long term. In Ukraine right now, it's the matter. Will evolutionary process of democracy will go further in your era, because until Ural Mountain, this is also your era. Or we just stayed aside and wait, what it will be after this? There are other civilizations. And this is 21st century with the technology. That is, this is the case of battle between two civilizations. and we are supposed to wake up much more faster. Immediately after this strategy, there was published, recorded by the Security Service of Ukraine, conversation about the equipage of book which penetrated to our country, and we knew from operational sources how it was transferred. You remember that just at the same time, GRU published fake satellite pictures in which accused Ukraine that there was a fighter of Ukraine which just shoot. But professionals immediately knew that it's possible only made by book system. Moreover, about the Holland part of investigation right now, Holland requested to Russians about the elements, because they have elements of warhead of missile 9M38M1, which penetrated really the cockpit and this plane. And Almaz-Antenne recently published, after three versions, there was three versions. Russians, the first said this is fighter of Ukrainian Air Force. The secondly, that Ukrainians wanted to shoot on Putin, which is supposed to fly on this road. Right now, Russia did recognize it's impossible anymore to say this is not book system. It's proved this is book system. Right now, they're trying to say, oh, the shot was not from the this direction. It's supposed to be from Ukrainian side. Listen. I'd love to tell you that we have right now the strong air defense system. By my knowledge, the last capable book of our air defense system was sold to Georgia. And basically in Georgia participated. And Ukrainian armed forces didn't deploy in this conflict because Russia didn't use air force in those days. What the hell book of Ukrainians supposed to be deployed over there? But I think we are approaching right now for the clearing this situation. But your question about the prohibition for entering, this is the main problem for many intelligence services and foreign services of the country. And I completely agree with the House Chamber of Lords, Parliament of UK testimony that intelligence services of the West and in some way foreign offices of the West completely insufficient and just proved with this escalation of conflict they wasn't prepared for this and didn't work properly. From my experience previously, 9/11, American government had a lot of information, but on the top level, sometimes bureaucrats don't want it to take upon themselves responsibility, make decision, and have all responsible themselves. Of course, this is awful tragedy, and Ukraine, I think, more than other countries, wanted to clear everything. We cooperate with all parts, and we will try to provide what we might from our side, full clearance, because this strategy is supposed to be severely punished. The question about the Maidan, on which really there was, second Maidan was started by students. The first days, these students didn't permit the opposition party, member of parliament, even to participate. They were with European flags. They started because violation, basically, by Yanukovych government. They overstepped, and disaster and Vilnius signed an agreement, by the way. Cabinet of Ministers stopped in last minutes, but by our constitution, the president possibly responsible for foreign policy, not the cabinet of ministers. And the students went over there, and with the European flags, people really died over there. And I think, of course, Ukraine want to be member of European Union, want to be the member of NATO, but this is supposed also from side of the West, this kind of decision. I can tell you only one small figure. You know that if Ukraine, this is a very rich country, you know, this very enormous rich country. If Ukraine would be in the European Union, you Arab, we will be #1 producer of food in the world. Right now, not. And resources of Ukraine, we can produce, we spoke about military-industrial complex, we can produce aircraft carriers, ICBMs, booster for satellites, electronics, the best transport aircraft, Antonov. But business is business, and we do understand this. And we need investment also, European investment for our common house, but this is long-term period. And finally, what I think we need understanding that we are fighting for our and yours freedom. We are European. We're supposed to understand that I think this is time maybe for Marshall Plan for Ukraine. The biggest European country by territory. In Ukraine, there would be the future of Euro-Atlantic civilization if we will continue our way to the east and influence peacefully, evolutionary, or we will be taken out.